I'm here on CannaTalk.
Hi, Colette Florido with CRW Network and The Bud Show. And I'm here in Las Vegas at the Women of Cannabis Conference. And I'm here with two people that actually were here last year at the Women of Cannabis Conference. And so I'm glad to be running into you again, Kate and Andre. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you.
So tell us what you're doing in this cannabis space.
We are kind of launching our MediKate line of cannabis t-shirts. We gear towards the medical community, but any kind of cannabis tea custom, we'll do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I run a production facility. I'm a facility manager at a CBD facility, but also, with the MediKate line is what we're looking to get into is more of t-shirts and getting a message out there, but for medical patients and what this plant actually does for people. I think there's always been that stereotype that it's a recreational, it feels good, and that's great. But there's a whole nother side to this plant, and I've actually got to witness it personally with Kate on what's gone on with her, on what it can do for somebody, what it can get you off of, and what kind of life you can have.
So we need to hear a little more about that. You can't just peek in there and not tell us. You got to tell us a little bit more because it's a really intriguing story and it's really exciting to hear.
Try to
so nutshell it, if you will. Tell us a little bit more.
Started with I broke my neck, broke my back, broke my neck again, broke my back again, and just kept going and going and going. So they just put me on a bunch of steroids, a bunch of pills. I was bedridden for almost a decade and weighed 200 pounds, couldn't really walk. I was just in so much pain. And started researching cannabis when Illinois decided they were going to do medical. And that was just pretty life-changing. Tried some crappy stuff in Illinois and it worked. So we took a trip to Colorado, and it was the first time I could actually walk and not fall over and didn't need a wheelchair, didn't need any kind of assistance.
And that's one of the things about it. We lived in Colorado from 99 to 2006 while she was going through these issues, and never knew that medical cannabis had started in Colorado in 2000. Moved back to Illinois because of all the problems that she was having, and that was where family was from. Then after doing the research,
and the 550 pills a month.
It got to the point where she sat in a chair, broke her back by sitting in a chair.
I broke 2 levels just from all the pharmaceuticals. My body just was breaking.
And had a physician literally tell us that this is going to keep happening. There's nothing else we can do. We can give you more pills or pain pump. So she did
max dose of everything at this point. I was already on fentanyl, Dilaudid, Valium, Ambien, you name it. I was taking it. All at the same time.
So there was what we did. She did the research and went, holy crap, here it is. We moved from Colorado. Colorado's had this all along, a medical program.
Nobody even offered.
So
they offered fentanyl.
Yeah. So in 2014, we took a trip back, visited some friends. While we were back, said, here, why don't you try this? And we did that twice in 2014, 10 days at a time. And both of those visits, no pharmaceuticals were taken.
No pharmaceuticals. This is, from all the medications that they had prescribed, none.
And basically where it went really crazy was March of 2015. When I got off the plane, I had a backpack. And in the backpack was just 13 prescriptions and a pair of underwear. Until he got there. We were staying with some friends. And
I shut down my business in Illinois. She was staying with some friends. It took me a week to get out there. I got out there and she was like, she wasn't doing well, but she had not taken any pharmaceuticals.
Not one.
I'm like, you haven't taken anything? So yeah, March 29th, 2015. Since then.
That's a good memory.
She went right nothing. I was like, you're nothing, just cold turkey.
I've also had the 3 surgeries since then, 2 fusions and another one where they took out an occipital stimulator and a spinal cord stimulator because cannabis works. So they took all that shit out of my head. And
can you say that again slowly? Because that was really great to hear. Cannabis
works.
Cannabis works. It's so true. I know from the other side of it, I know what you are going through. I have an idea. Let me just say, I don't know, but I have an idea. but you also had to see this from the outsider's perspective. You weren't even able to help,
He lived it
yet
too.
you were living this. Right. I mean,
We were
what's
both living in hell.
All it was, I mean, it was a routine where I'd get up in the morning, get her dressed, put her in her chair. Her mom would come over at lunch while I was at work, feed her lunch. I'd get home at night, take her to the bathroom, help her shower, dress her for bed, and put her in bed. And that was it. And it was literally living till the next
Emergency.
dose, or to the next dose. No, not even. It was to the next dose. Okay, I took my pills at 12.
right?
I gotta wait till 4. I gotta wait till 4, and that was it.
And it was brutal
no
waiting.
relief,
Right.
no relief in the interim. But that's all you lived for, was to take your next dose. And she took them prescribed.
Right.
You know, this
I didn't
was
snort 'em or
this
do
is
anything
what
crazy.
the
It just didn't
doctor
work.
told her to do.
Right.
She stopped breathing twice at night. You know, I joke around and I say I've hit my wife twice. It was to start the heart back running again and get her going, but that's literally what it was. And I think that's where she got to the wit's end and just said, there's got to be a better way. And it's out there. And, you know, with the T-shirt company, that's the whole thing, is like, you know,
We can start a conversation.
in this industry,
Absolutely.
yeah, in this industry, T-shirts are big. With who you're hitting, T-shirts are a big thing. It shows a message. It sounds kind of trivial at first, but people wear those. They look at them, and then they start to think. And that's what we want to get to, where people are actually looking at a shirt going, that's really neat, or that's a great
Say
message.
no to opioids
And
and
things
yes
like
to
that.
cannabinoids. Yeah.
So that's what we want to
Absolutely.
get to, and I thought this was a good medium to get into, and to get it out there and to get it to everybody.
So what's the shirt message? You've said the say no to the opioid, but there's got to be another one, a fun one that you've been thinking of. Like
Well,
what?
cannabis should be our first choice, not our last option, because it was my last option. There was nothing left for me, and it worked.
Yeah.
Thank God.
We've got a few. We've got a nice one with a cartoon hand that's cultivate good vibes, things like that with the joint. And you want to do that because that's the other thing. When people look at those, you think, oh, that's just what everybody thinks. Yeah, but everybody thinks about being happy when they do this. And you don't think about being happy when you're on pharmaceuticals.
Not at all.
I know I
can't
wasn't
remember-
happy going to Walgreens every day.
I can't remember ever going to a pharmacy or ever going to a doctor's office and seeing people that were happy.
Like they are at a dispensary.
You go to a dispensary and, you know, we're 50 and we'll go to the dispensaries out here and we're the youngest ones in the place. And that's what's great to see. I mean, there's an acceptance. And
I'm picturing Kate skipping out of the dispensary. You know, it's a much happier
The
approach than.
bartenders know me.
very much so.
So your takeaway from today, because this was a big meeting. There were a
Yes.
lot of women and men here today. What was your experience? What was your takeaway from being at the Women of Cannabis conference?
Ooh, I'll let you hit that one first.
I was only here briefly last year. I didn't, and the turnout this year seemed to be twice or 3 times the amount of people. The excitement was more. I think there was a lot more knowledge than last year. And you know, the first year of an event is always tough. I think you could see that they found their footing, and I'm glad to be a part of it, and how great it was, and just how there was a lot of idea sharing going around everywhere. We just people coming up to us liked what we had. We've got 2 or 3 other ideas for shirts from people and to put out there and to do this. So I think that's the biggest thing. That's how the industry is going to grow. We know that we have certain constraints that we can't grow like other industries can and use things the way other industries can. So this is a big one. You have to stay together. You have to share ideas.
There's plenty of room for us all to play in the pool. Come on in, you know. There's lots of different approaches, and there's going to be a lot of T-shirts made for a lot of people. Exactly. We've got to get that word out. I mean, for as many T-shirts as I've always had that came from a beer company or an alcohol brand, it's time to have something that's actually on the medical side of things and really talking more about
That's a
how it's
perfect
helping.
example that you did, because what's the stigma with oh, you smoke weed,
Right.
but you can drink a beer and it's fine.
Right. There's no medical value. Well, all right, maybe the red wine for the heart and the beer for, okay, well, that's another story. But still, you know, it is a piece that we're trying to break that stigma. And this conference really has been doing a phenomenal job of doing so. Plants over pills and really working together. Kate, what did you take away from today's conference?
Wow. Last year we met a lot of amazing women, and some that are my best friends now. So met a lot more, made some amazing connections with some veterans and some other people that we're all going to be able to get together locally and be able to help each other. So that was really cool. We were just kind of looking for more connection, and we got that today.
I love it.
Yeah, the organizers did a really good job.
Well, we're excited. Stacy and team, you guys did an amazing job. We thank you for the opportunity to see people again. We know we're going to be back with our same groups in the future and getting to hear more stories about success and pathways that we've taken. And I just want to say congratulations on the turnaround that you're experiencing and the
Not being able to walk to working 40
look at
hours
this.
a week.
You're working 40 hours a week. You're standing here at a very long conference. My feet are tired. I need some spray.
Well,
It's
I can't
time.
lie, I've had a lot of edibles.
It helps, but look at you still standing here like a champ and still doing what you need to do, you know?
And she's skinny. I need to take more.
And there you go. All right, tell them how they can find your information and when they're ready to get a shirt, where they're going to go.
Okay. You can go to MediKate67 on Instagram and Andre and Kate More Than a T, and we'll have everything there. You can call us, email us, text us. We'll do anything you want.
And that's MediKate, but that's MediKate.
Kate. Don't hate, MediKate.
There we go.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys. We congratulate you, and really nice to hear such a positive story. And one more story that we're sharing here at the Women of Cannabis Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada on CRW Network and The Bud Show.